Hello, my name is Luke Jerram. I'm an artist. I'm based in Bristol, and I'm the artist who made the moon artwork that you're experiencing in Breda. It's a great pleasure to be able to present this artwork in the cathedral, in the church there. I'm sure it looks very beautiful. And yeah, I've been making artwork now for about 25 years. I'm based in the UK, but I work all around the world. And the artwork was initially inspired by living in Bristol. Here we've got a very high tidal range in the river. There's about 13 metres gap between high tide and low tide. And I was cycling across the river every day and noticed this big variation in the tide and thought that yeah, of course it's the moon that makes that tidal variation happen. And so about 15 years ago I had this idea to make a beautiful replica moon. But back then the technology hadn't been invented to be able to create it. And so it took about 10 years for technology and science to catch up with the vision that I had. And so, yeah, NASA has since sort of sent a satellite right around the moon, taking thousands of photographs. And we've used that to create this sculpture of the moon. So the moon that you're seeing in Breda is 500,000 times smaller than the actual thing. And it's all made of high resolution NASA imagery. So 1 centimetre on its surface represents 5 kilometres. And it's an accurate image of the moon. One of the reasons I made it, I suppose, I'm sort of fascinated in scale. I was interested to imagine what it might be like to stand next to this sculpture. So the sculpture is 500,000 times smaller than the moon, and yet somehow it makes you feel quite small to stand next to it. And the moon acts as a cultural mirror to everyone in society. We've been looking at the moon for 200,000 years as a species. And so the moon has got all these mythologies and stories and belief systems wrapped around the moon. So the moon means different things to different people in different places around the world. So over in China, the moon is celebrated as part of their Mid-Autumn Festival. Whereas over in America, the moon is very significant. People think about it in relation to the Apollo moon missions. We toured the moon around India, and the moon has great significance there in Hinduism. So wherever we take this artwork, it means different things to different people. And it comes with a surround sound composition by a composer called Dan Jones. And for me, that music helps to kind of steer its interpretation, but also connect the sculpture to the surrounding architecture. The moon also acts as a venue for events to take place. So we've had choirs performing underneath the moon, we've had astronomy lectures, yoga course tutorials, we've had parties and film nights, and all sorts of things have taken place beneath the moon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Breda with the moon that you've got there. So that's really information about the artwork. I've got this handy book that I've written, which describes sort of 20 years of all the artworks I've made that include the moon, but also I'm known around the world for putting pianos in cities for people to play. Big water slides down the middle of our high street here in Bristol. So I'm interested in sort of, large scale artworks. But the moon, it gets presented in different contexts. So sometimes we might put it over a river. This was a photograph from when we presented the artwork in Riga in Latvia. And there were so many thousands of visitors. We had a few people fall in the river, but I thought they were all right. I think they just drank a bit too much beer. Sometimes it goes into cathedrals and churches, and there, you might interpret the moon in relation to perhaps the creation of the universe and think about it in that way. We've also had the moon in swimming pools, so you can swim out underneath the moon, and that's really fun as well. So yeah, depending on where it goes, the artwork's interpretation slightly changes as well, and that's quite nice for me. We've also got an earth artwork that is being presented in museums and light festivals and cathedrals as well. But yeah, this is kind of what I do, all these different art projects. This is a singing sculpture. What else have we got? And then right on the opposite scale, I make these glass sculptures of viruses. So these are in museums all around the world. And yes, we made COVID glass sculpture, but we've sold those and raised lots of money for charity. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so that's it really from me. Lots of different fun art projects. But I hope you enjoy having the moon in Breda. And yeah, go to lukejerram.com and you can see all the different artworks I've made. And I hope you enjoy the artwork. Thanks very much. Bye.